Welcome back from the abyss of the engine. At least we know the window opens. Looking pretty good. As you guys can see, we've done a lot of work on this thing, and we have a change of scenery. Instead of on a hot asphalt, now we're under this beautiful tree, but we got a lot of work to do. We have 6 new spark plugs on here and a new coil.
The brake reservoir. Got it.
Some new engine studs on here and then a new plate.
We're down to the same problem we've always had, Scott. This one here won't budge. You can get all but one.
Yep.
That's the whole idea of a Power Wagon here, is it?
You can see there's these cover plates on here, and I kind of bent this one up, so I just took it off and I have a new one, and look how great it looks inside there. I was just kind of really carefully removing some of this grime, but overall, like, it looks pretty solid on the inside. And then obviously we took off the exhaust and intake manifold, and I've done all of that. On the exhaust manifold here, unfortunately, as you guys can see, we kind of have a pretty bad crack. So I should just buy a replacement part, but I don't have the money right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use some of this JB Weld Extreme Heat. And I think you're just supposed to try to fill the cracks. So a little bit on there. New oil filter. Only other big thing we got done is we took off the doors. So for today, I'm gonna go ahead and just start off, or what's left of today. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna power wash all the stuff I can, cab, all the frame, and just try to get all of the dirt and loose rust out of there. The nicest thing about having holes in your floor is the water comes right out. Speaking of that, look at this high-tech stormwater pollution prevention plan going on right here. Woo! Look at those 4x8s working miracles. Okay, so that could not have been its first bath in the last like 70 years or whatever, because it's not that dirty and not that much came off. And surprisingly, in my power washer, well, it's just a kind of crappy Ryobi one, it couldn't really get the like really bad grime off the engine. Like right, like that. It's just like grime. It's been on there for like 50 years at least. But I mean, it's just like less dirty now at least. Looks pretty good. Oops. No electronics, it's okay. I highly doubt there's any coolant left in this radiator, but I see a little tiny bit dripping out of this drain plug. So I'm just gonna check it out. Oh, there's some. It actually looks pretty clean. Wow. Oh. Gotta readjust. Shoot. There we go. Mom was getting so tired. There we go. That is so much more coolant than I ever would have expected. And actually, I mean, the color does not look that bad. While I was just sitting there for 12 minutes and 38 seconds, according to my camera, I noticed on the tire here that it is completely coming apart. So actually, these tires have tubes in them, which is kind of crazy. So it's like a bicycle tire. It has a tube that you fill up inside of the tire. So I'm definitely gonna have to get new tires. I already knew that, but I just didn't know it was that bad because they don't look that bad from afar. But, all right, we got like probably half gallon of coolant out of the radiator there. And the reason why I was so surprised is like all these water hoses have already taken off and there's just nothing in any of those. I guess some of these lower radiator hoses were still on there. Up to right now, I was super excited about not having to replace this back window since it looks pretty good. Problem, it's plexiglass. I have to replace it. Also, to everyone in the last video who gave me some great constructive criticism on not covering up rust holes with Bondo, I wish this last owner would have had some more of that, because anywhere he had a hole, he just glued a penny. Very interesting. You look. It's kind of dark in here now. There we go. There's pennies all the way around this window, because at some point someone thought it'd be a good idea to drill all the way around this window for some reason. By the way, though, I actually really do appreciate the criticism / constructive criticism / just good ideas in the comments, since I do not actually know that much about all of this. Like, I have a pretty good general sense about how life works, but there's a lot of things that, like, I just kind of read the can and I'm like, oh, it says it can cover up rust holes, I'm gonna use it. And clearly not the best idea. So keep the good comments coming, because it's how I'm learning about this stuff, and hopefully you can pass on some of your knowledge to me so I can do this thing at least halfway right. I want to be able to keep it for a long time. So keep the comments coming. I actually really appreciate them. So anyways, the two things I'm critically missing on this truck are a bench seat and then the truck bed. So for the truck bed, I'm looking on like Craigslist and eBay across the whole US, and a lot of people, they have these truck beds where someone a long time ago, their Power Wagon stopped working or whatever. So they just cut the frame and then it has kept the whole bed and the bed sides on it, and then they made a trailer out of it. So I'm looking to try to buy one of these trailer truck beds. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to buy one from Vintage Power Wagons, and they're like $2,000, which is pretty crazy, saying I paid $4,000 for the entire thing, but I guess we'll have to see. And then same thing on the seat, super expensive to buy a reproduction one, so probably gonna try to find one to buy off somebody, not sure who. I've been like sitting on buckets and stuff in here, so I might, emphasis on maybe, build like a little wood bench for now. But I'm going to try to find a seat pretty quickly here. Something I'm definitely gonna make out of wood is I want to make like this glove box compartment out of just like plywood, and make a little cabinet in there so I can stick like the owner's manual, and then obviously insurance if I ever get that, and then like other registration documents. So I think that'd be kind of cool if that was wood, and then we'll just have to see on the seat. I don't think I could get it like highway approved as a wood bench seat in here, but maybe. Oh, also, we're missing the window wipers, and this guy, right there, no problem, he covered it up with a penny. Yeah, he really loved pennies. I'm not appreciative of that. I would have rather just had window wipers. Either way, I guess he covered up the hole. Also, I really can't decide. One of the main things I really can't decide, sorry, it's kind of dark now, but those 3 lights up top, they're not original, and the reason why I think they're on there is because the guy before me, or a couple guys ago, or women's ago, used this thing as a snow plow. So I don't know if I want to keep those. That's like kind of like the wide load lights. I think I'm gonna take them off since they're not original, but I haven't decided. If you really like them or you really hate them, put that in the comments so I can get a better opinion of what you guys think on that. But since it's almost getting pitch black out here and I don't really have any better lighting besides that one lamp, I think I'm gonna call it quits for today, and then I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. It is the next day, and I already went ahead and I got this new plate welded in here, new rod, new bearings, and this is basically just in between the exhaust and intake manifold. So in the summer, you want to leave it closed so the intake doesn't get too hot from all the exhaust heat, and in the winter to warm up your engine, you can leave it all the way open. So to put the intake and exhaust manifold together, there is this gasket right here, but it's already kind of ruined since I used it once, and I'm not gonna wait a week to get a new gasket. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put some of this glue right on here. Just brush it on. Get it all over everything, perfect. I just ratcheted it on. I know I should be using a torque wrench, but I'm not doing it that tight. All the ones I could, all the nuts on these studs I could, but I need a 9/16 inch box wrench for these top guys, and I can't find that one, even though I have like 500 different box wrenches. So I'm moving back to electrical. You can see I have that spark plug out. I'm trying to get the spark plugs to work right now. So I have the wiring diagram right here in the owner's manual. Super simple for the ignition. That's all I'm trying to do. Is from the battery, runs through the starter, big number 8 red wire, right? Battery to the starter, number 8 red wire. You see it right there in the very back, big guy, cloth wrapped. Okay, that goes to the negative side of the ammeter, which is right there. Okay, so we go to the negative side, big red wire, new half new ammeter here because the original one's not working. Okay, and then out of the positive side of the ammeter, we have a 10 gauge wire that's new. You can see it nice and shiny. Down to our ignition lock switch. So we're here. We're looking from the positive end of the ammeter, and it should be brown, but I have it in red. And it goes to the ignition lock switch, which is this right here from Dodge Power Wagon. It's just universal. And then on the other side of the ignition lock switch, we have a wire that runs back to the coil here. And then there's also a negative wire on the coil that runs down to the distributor. This needs to be replaced though. Before we do any more electrical though, I need to send out an SOS to anyone who knows anything about this kind of car. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is, and I have no idea what those holes are for right there. And I also have no idea what this is. So if anyone knows, you could drop a comment below, please, I beg you, before tomorrow afternoon, hopefully. I'm gonna post this tonight, because I have no idea what those go to, and I can't just leave them open because everything will not work, basically. I mean, the gas is literally gonna run out of this one, so I need to figure out what that goes to. So if you could help me out and drop a comment, that'd be sick. Thank you. Okay, so we went around, we looked at all the wires, and we checked them with a voltmeter, and we're all good all the way through the ignition, and we're good all the way up to the coil here. This wire is good, so we figured it's probably this one wire we didn't replace yet that goes from the positive on the coil down to the distributor, which is below the coil. You can barely see it. But I replaced it with a new 16 gauge wire according to the wire diagram. Still tested the spark, didn't get anything. So tomorrow when we have some more light, we're gonna look into like the distributor and check the points on it. We looked at it before and it looked okay, but we might end up having to rebuild the distributor or buy a new one or something like that. But that's all I got for today. Next video, hopefully we'll have it running unless we have some other serious problem. Definitely do the coolant system real quick, throw back on the pipes, throw some antifreeze in it, run the heater hose like I talked about. Yeah, and that'll be it. So thank you guys for watching today's video, and also please, last request is if you know anything about any of this stuff on the intake manifold, hit me up in the comments section down below. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.